30 years of duration. Okay. The first thing and foremost thing in this course, we are going to discuss about what is the main development side, what is the change happened, the development paradigm. Okay, so how it changed when it comes to HANA environment. So that we are going to discuss, and then everything is going to be a HANA Studio development. So HANA Studio, different tools, how it is going to be, what are the tools for all those things we will be discussing. That is what the introduction topic. And then so we are going to discuss the core topics. What are the changes happened? The code to data. Code to data is nothing but a code pushdown techniques. So basically, if you see, this course, everything is all about code pushdown techniques only. Okay. Code pushdown techniques. So first of all, what is code pushdown technique? The code pushdown technique is nothing but in normal old ABAP or non-HANA database, or just take old ABAP scenario. So old ABAP scenario, what we are doing, like first, I'm just talking about the report. Okay, the first step will be having input, right? Input as a selection screen, and then second one is based on that input, what you're going to do, you're going to fetch the data by using select statement. Okay, from database you're going to have it. And third step is you're going to process the data, processing data for desired output. So these are the three steps generally you will follow any report programming if you see. Okay, so this is input screen. This is ABAP layer only it will happen, and this is select statement will happen in database layer, and then processing logic also will be done in ABAP layer only. So now what is the change has been made here in HANA environment? The change is, so as it is this, so in the new environment, so new environment everything will be there, but the only change is here, the whatever the processing data also there, right? That also will happen here in the DB layer itself. Okay, these are all in ABAP layer. This is database layer. This is again ABAP layer, right? Okay, so this is what the same thing here. The new environment also. New environment is nothing but in HANA environment, ABAP layer. This is also in DB layer, and this is also ABAP layer. Okay. But here, while selecting data itself, we can have a processing also. Okay, that is what the code pushdown technique. Code pushdown technique is nothing but so long the extraction of data, we will be having a processing data also at the DB layer because now database is so powerful. Okay, so that is what the code pushdown technique. Code pushdown technique is nothing but processing logic will be performed at DB layer. This is what the code pushdown technique. So here also after, I mean, if you ask me, there will not be any processing logic after, extracting the data in HANA environment. No, there will be also, but minimal processing data will be there. But whatever it is possible, okay, will be doing at a DB layer, the processing logic along with the extraction of data. That is what the code pushdown technique. Code pushdown technique is nothing but we will be processing the data, whatever these now we are doing in a ABAP layer. That logic we are going to perform at a DB layer. Okay. So what are the techniques we have to perform the processing logic at a DB layer? The first one is new OpenSQL. I think most of them as a ABAPers, you guys know what is OpenSQL. So OpenSQL is nothing but it's a SAP SQL, right? So now in the new environment, we have the same OpenSQL concept, but somewhat syntaxes have been changed. Along that syntaxes, code pushdown techniques features also have been added to OpenSQL. Okay, so that is one code pushdown technique, and second one is CDS views. Okay, so CDS views are nothing but core data services. Okay, it is one of the major code pushdown techniques. Okay, major code pushdown techniques. Generally, this is the commonly used code pushdown technique. Okay, it's altogether a new topic, and this is again DB independent. That means that so this CDS views, it can be used non-HANA DB also. Okay, if your SAP product version is enhancement pack more than 7, if it is there, okay, enhancement pack 7, above 7, if it is there WAP 7.4 and 7.5 is allowed there, and there you can have WAP CDS views there. Okay, it is the most used code pushdown technique. And third one is AMDP. So AMDP is nothing but ABAP managed database procedures. Okay, and it is a DB dependent. It is only for HANA DB only. Okay, so DB dependent it is. This is for this you required SQL script. Okay, so this is for an ABAP. This is a new topic. You need to learn SQL script. Okay, to write a code pushdown techniques in AMDP classes. Okay, so these are the 3 different techniques, code pushdown techniques. So we have, and all these three topics what we are going to discuss as part of this content. Okay, so along this we have another code Pushdown technique, that is ADBC, ABAP database connectivity. Okay, so this is when we were not having AMDP code Pushdown technique that time. So this is the only one option when you wanted to have a code Pushdown technique, when you have a HANA DB environment. Okay, so this code Pushdown technique will be used when HANA is a secondary database. HANA as a secondary DB. In that environment, this code Pushdown technique will be used. I will show what is the secondary database, how it will be used. Okay, so what kind of scenarios. But generally, in the current scenario, in the current SAP S/4HANA environment, these three code Pushdown techniques are generally used. Okay, this when AMDP was not there, these people used to use this option. Okay, but once AMDP came, now no need to have ADBC, because here a lot of things, manual activities you should do. Okay, so that is also we are going to discuss as part of this course, because you should aware how the AMDP is useful over ADBC. And this is also DB independent. New OpenSQL also DB independent. That means that even non-HANA environment also, these two code Pushdown techniques can be used. If you go back to this content, so these are all the topics we are going to have. As I said, the introduction about the HANA Studio and what are the code Pushdown techniques, all those things we are going to discuss. And then now the code Pushdown technique, new OpenSQL, and then CDS views. In the CDS views, how we can have authorization, all those things. In CDS view, we have different CDS views are there. Okay, all of them we are going to discuss. And this is, as I said, if you want to learn ABAP managed database procedures, you need to have a SQL script. So that's the reason we have incorporated this unit here. So we are going to have SQL, core SQL and SQL script basics we are going to discuss. Okay, and then ADBC, ABAP database connectivity, and then AMDP we are going to discuss. And then we have a couple of proxy objects. Okay, so that we are going to discuss. And then, so some advanced topics are there, like in search help. So we have in SAP, for an example, to say, this is what is that full text search, or enabling input field for type ahead search. Just to give an example, how it will be in SAP. I think if you guys are using, say suppose if you just type it, okay, so you will get something, right? As you type ahead, you will get search results. The same kind of feature in SAP also they have incorporated. How they have incorporated? By using these options, full text search and type ahead search. So these are the two options. Type ahead search means as you type ahead, okay, you will get search results. Okay, that how you can make it for your own input fields. That we are going to discuss as part of this advanced topics. And then we have a specific ALV technique for HANA environment that we are going to discuss. So with that, we will be ending the course actually. And one more thing I wanted to say here, this course It's a combination of the SAP standard course content called HANA, sorry, HA400 and HA150. You can note it down and Google them like training.sap.com. You can go and you can search all these two course codes. So if you see those two course codes, these two, the combination of this only it will be. Okay. So SAP is suggesting if you want to learn new ABAP and you want to work in S/4HANA environment as an ABAPer, at least you should know these two course codes. Okay, so this is when from there only we have took and we have designed this course content. Clear? So that is about the course content. Now we are going to talk about what is the technology behind HANA, SAP HANA product. Okay. Even though it is not part of our course, but as a technology guy, you should understand what is the, at least somebody ask you what is the the technology behind HANA, because you are going to work on HANA environment, right? Normal SAP guy, I mean they can know like what is SAP HANA, but suppose non-SAP guy ask what is HANA means, you should be able to talk at least 2-3 minutes about HANA, right? So for that, so this session will help. Yes. So why is SAP HANA? Okay. So it started basically. So before HANA, we are going to discuss about how the old databases, how it started, and what are the limitations were there. Those things we are going to talk. All RDBMS database systems were invented in 1980s, late 1980s or early 90s. Whatever right now it is there, Oracle, DB2, MS SQL, these are all RDBMS systems. These were all designed in late 80s or early 90s. That time we were having computer hardware limitations. What are the limitations? We used to have limitations like very less RAM and the poor CPU performance. So these are the limitations we were having, and on top of that, these people they build the products. Okay, the hard disk, whatever the database systems also on top of these limitations they have designed, and clients were using that. At the same time, SAP ERP application also has been written. Okay, with these limitations only. Okay, so as you guys know, like the ERP application is it is like kind of any database it supports, right? So same databases, whatever database in those days market is available, like Oracle or MS SQL, all those things it is using, and that SAP ERP application design is also based on these limitations. Based on these limitations, nothing but hardware limitations like less DRAM and poor CPU performance. So obviously, when you are having some limitations on top of that, if you build something, so definitely it will not go for long run, right? Okay. So somewhere else, like you have to stop, okay, to fix that issue. So what happened after 20 years? The clients were using the SAP ERP application, and they found common issues across the clients. Okay, the big clients. Okay. So what are the common issues they were facing? The common issues like redundant data volume increased. Redundant data volume increased is nothing but in the database. Okay, so we were having a lot of performance issues, right? To have to fix that performance issues, like SAP in old environment, what we have now, we used to create indexes on the standard tables, right? So what happens when the index has been created for any database table? So again, internally, one more table will be creating whatever the index fields you are choosing. So that is nothing but it's a kind of a duplication of data, right? So you have like BSEC data you have. So on top of that BSEC, you have created one index. So generally in the indexes will be creating, like commonly you'll be accessing some common data, some setup fields from out of 200 or 300 fields. So those fields are not a key fields. Okay, obviously we'll be having performance issues. What we'll be doing? So we'll be creating our own, index table. Index table is nothing but there you can set whatever the fields you wanted to have a key fields. With that, we are overcoming the performance issues, database extraction performance issues. So with that, the another issue happened, data redundant happened, data duplicacy. Okay, so that's how, like, if you see big clients, like, there will be more index tables will be there. With that, so more data redundant. So with that, database volume will be increased. With that, like, system maintenance will be very difficult, and the database will not work as expected performance wise. That is one issue, common issue every client is facing. And then OLTP and OLAP become two different solutions. Like, you guys know what is OLTP and OLAP. OLTP is our ERP application, and OLAP is like, in our SAP environment, SAP BW. Okay, so ideally these two functionalities, it should be there in one box. Okay, then only any business can be, easily can have a transaction. On top of the transaction, can have easily the reporting, and you can have easy access for everything, like, reporting, and you can take real-time decisions easily. But in the current environment, if you see, the BW system will be having all the historical data. Okay, you will not have the real-time data over there, right? So that it become, two different solutions. That is not good for any business. And then it's like more batch jobs. The batch jobs in any big systems, any SAP, big clients who are using SAP. So anywhere if you see, like, their core operations will run on batch jobs only. So batch jobs, everybody know, like, it takes time, and it happens in background. So that is not good for, if you want to see the results, like, when you need to wait for hours, right? That is not good, right? And then, so with all this, like, the business should become so complex. Like, we were having along this lot of enhancements to our ERP applications, right? So with that, what happens, like, if you have more enhancements, business suite, the business application is going to be so complex. With that, the maintenance is also so costlier. So these are the common issues they have identified. With this idea only, the HANA came into picture. What is SAP HANA? The HANA full form is Hasso's new architecture. Hasso Plattner is one of the founder of SAP company. I think everybody know, like, four former IBMers, they started SAP company. Among them, Hasso is one of them. Okay, so why that name came, in a few more slides I'm going to show you that. Then, what is basically HANA? HANA is a combination of software and hardware. It is not only a software, it is a hardware too. Okay, it has its own hardware. And now it is a platform. HANA is a platform. Okay, not only a database, it is a platform. So platform is nothing but there you can have your own application development. You can have it. Any application, if you wanted to build it. So suppose some solution you wanted to build it. Like, you will choose a different platform, right? Like that, you can take HANA is also one of the platform to solve that issue. Okay. So what are that? Generally, platform will be having three different services. What is application services, and database services, and integration services. With these three services, you can build an application, and you can run that application in business, right? So application services, what basically it does, where you can have an application development, and database services for to store the data, and integration services for to talk to third-party applications. So any application in the current environment, the current market, it should have integration capability with another applications. It cannot sustain individually any application, because any business, if you see, there will be having a lot of applications, right? So when you have that kind of environment, so every application should talk to each other, right? Then only business can run smoothly. So those kind of services HANA is providing. These are the different application services. Like by using these all languages, you can build your applications in HANA environment. Clear? And this are all. I mean, this HANA platform is available in three different platforms, like Uh, one second. Okay, so this platform is available on premises. On premises is nothing but like the you can have, the clients can have their own data center, all those things, and then cloud. So cloud also HANA platform is available. The cloud is like somebody cloud provider will be there, like that applications will be available in cloud, and a hybrid model. So both. So few services can have on premises and few can be having on cloud. So all three kinds of platforms. So this HANA product is available. Yes, the history of SAP HANA, how this product has been evolved. So since 1999 onwards, okay. So SAP is working on their own software based on that limitations, whatever they were seeing, to overcome that limitations. So from 99 onwards, SAP is working. So like a lot of people are involved in SAP, okay. So it is not only one's contribution. It is a lot of people contribution as a product SAP HANA finally to come to. So 99 they were having a T-Rex software, when T-Rex database it is. So that database significance is it's a multi-core CPU DB. So multi-core, okay? It has a multi-core CPU. With that, they were seeing a lot of performance when comparatively those days RDBMS, Oracle or MSSQL or DB2, all those things based on this whatever the limitation they were having, like database redundant, all those things. With this, like when they were seeing a lot of performance actually with the multi-core CPU. And then in 2002, they were having P time. It is an in-memory DB. So that time only Vishal Chikka joined in SAP. The first ask when he joined from HASO, he's the HASO, okay. So he asked Vishal Chikka, so we need to have a product so which is as per the current hardware, okay. By the time like hardware is lot of things have been changed. In 80s and 90s, hardware is different, and by 2000 the hardware is different, okay. The computer hardware I'm talking about. So based on this current hardware, so we need to have our own database, to fix all these issues whatever the clients are facing. That was the ask, for Vishal Chikka. So with that, like from 2002, Vishal Chikka was actively working towards that same product. And P time, it's a kind of in-memory DB, and they have seen a lot of good things in P time. And then in 2003, they were having, with the combination of T-Rex and the multi-core DB and in-memory DB, with these two combinations, they have found Euclid, one more product. So that is in SAP DCOM winner it is. So SAP DCOM is one kind of contest, SAP conducts in 2003. So that was the they have showcased that product, and it was the winner actually, and also submitted the same features as a thesis. He is a professor also in university, so it was well received with that features whatever has happened. Then 2006, Vishal Sikka coined for this product as a HANA. Okay, HANA, that's how the name came. HANA full form is Haso's new architecture, because Haso asked we need to have a product to fix all the issues whatever the currently is facing. Because of that, Vishal Sikka named the product called HANA. Okay, so that's how the name was coined. And then 2009, the actual development started, full-fledged product development. And then 2010, they went to RTC. Okay, so the first client, okay, so who has given their data to HANA environment is Colgate. Toothpaste is there, right? Colgate. So they are the people, they came front and they have used the HANA capabilities. Okay, and then once they have tested everything with that data and they have seen a lot of performance differences, and then finally they went to 2011 public. Okay, 2011 ticket they have released that to public. So that's how so HANA came into world. But majority of the people involved, the Vishal Sikka only. But before him also, SAP was working towards that. So these are the people, the different partners along with SAP, they were involved towards SAP HANA product development. So from software side, the Intel and Unix, SUSE, for the people like they were there, and for the software side. And the hardware side, these are the people HP, IBM, Fujitsu, Dell, Cisco, NEC, Hitachi, these are the people involved. I mean, the hardware server right now, the HANA servers, these are the people only having, the license to sell that product. Okay, the servers, HANA servers. Now we will see what are the core technologies. Okay, the core technologies of SAP HANA. It has its many, many technologies it has. Okay, and every technology has its own significance to make this product so powerful comparatively the other products in the market. But these are the three core technologies which makes somewhere like far behind with any other products in the current market. The first one is in-memory computing. Okay, and then second one is columnar structures. Third one is massive parallel processing. So these are the three capabilities which has HANA. What is in-memory computing? So in-memory computing is nothing but the data is residing in RAM itself. Okay, data is residing in RAM itself. So this is the old scenario. If you see, there's the old scenario. Like CPU will be there and RAM will be there and hard disk will be there. This is the general computer architecture, right? If you run any activity, first it will go to CPU and then it goes to RAM and then it goes to hard disk and then extract that data and then come back to RAM and it will come to CPU again. But this is a tedious process. Like extracting data from hard disk, from CPUs, you need to go to DRAM first and then. So this is the lengthy process and very slow process. To overcome this, the in-memory computing technology started. So what is in-memory computing? So data is available in RAM itself because now RAM becomes so cheaper compared to the 80s and 90s. Okay, how it becomes cheaper and what is the volume also we are going to see in the next slides. So this is what the in-memory computing. Someone asks you what is in-memory computing? So in-memory computing nothing but stores data in DRAM rather than database hosted on disks. Okay, so this is how the servers, HANA servers will be having this kind of capability. The data can reside in RAM itself. And then columnar structures. The columnar structures are nothing but, so generally every table will be having a row structures. The row structures, how basically it will be stored in databases. So this is the table. If you see this table, how this is how row wise every data will be stored. Every record of the table will be stored like this. Suppose any of the record on this table, if you want to perform a select query, suppose from the second row, I want to get the biggest number in this second row. What is this? 40 is the biggest number. For that, how the execution will happen, So it will go to each of every column of the data, like it will go to this column, then this column, then this column, like that. It will go each and every of the table data, it will go and finally it will execute that select query. But whereas in columnar structures, the data will be stored in column wise, okay? Every column is separately. So only that column, only whichever column you wanted, only that column it will touch, and based on that it will be execution. So obviously the data extraction will be faster, right? Here we are going unwanted columns and everything, but here only required columns it will go and it will touch, and on top of that, whatever the calculations will happen, it will happen. That is what the columnar structures. And HANA is not only a columnar structures, it is a row structures also it supports, but generally majority of the tables will be columnar structures. So when generally columnar structures we have to go, the columnar structures, whenever you have the extractions are more from that table, the data extractions if it is more, that table you should opt as a columnar structures. And if it is a only a writing purpose, if you are having any table, that table you can have a row structures. The massive parallel processing. Massive parallel processing is nothing but HANA is a multi-core CPU. So CPUs are, when you have a multi-core CPUs, the core is also nothing but CPU only again. Whatever CPU functionality is having, the core is also will be doing the same. What happens basically when you have multi-core CPU? So any activity it comes to CPU, that activity will be split into multiple activities, small activities, and the small activities will be assigned to multi-cores. Okay, and that multi-cores will be parallelly working on those small activities for the major activity. Okay, it will be split and parallelly it will be working. Obviously, your performance will be, lot of improvement will be there, right? So that is where the multi-core CPUs are, it has a massive parallel processing. Okay, so that is what the one more feature which HANA has, and because of that it is so powerful. The next slide is going to talk about the performance, how it is the HANA. So 20 years ago, if you see here, the memory will be, these are all servers I'm talking about, okay, not our personal computer, all those things. So 20 years ago, the servers used to have RAM will be 1 GB, okay, the RAM used to be only having 1 GB only, and then CPU used to have 4 cores, transistors will be there, 1 million transistors. In 20 years ago it is. Now the current scenario, RAM will be having, what is that, 6 TB, not 6 GB, TB it is. Everybody know what is a TB, right? So that is what now the lot of R&D happened towards hardware side. With that advantage, this HANA product came into picture. Okay. So with all these features like memory DB, all those things, this is how this data can store in RAM itself. 6 TB, I think any data can fit into over there, right? And then CPU will be 120 cores. Where is 4 cores or where is 120 cores? And then transistors 1 million 20 years ago, now 2.6 billion. Near future, people are expecting the RAM can be 48 TB and cores will be CPU 480 cores. Okay, this is what the near future. With this, still the system is going to be far faster than current environment. And then if you see this one core capacity, what one core capacity is, scanning is nothing but extractions. Okay, so one core per second, 5 billion records it can extract. Can you imagine how much data? Okay, it is extracting from database. 5 billion records per core per second. Aggregation is nothing but like calculation, summation, like average, anything, multiplication, all those things, the kind of aggregations. 12 million records per core per second. It can do that much. And if you see single server means like 120 cores. So 600 billion scans, 600 billion records per server per second it is. So that is what it is, the power of HANA. Yes. The usage, how the currently SAP HANA is used. SAP HANA is used in existing SAP application landscapes. Like you guys know what is a landscape in current SAP landscapes. Like when we are having all, like third-party databases, right? Like Oracle, DB2, anything it can be. Okay. So instead of those DBs, HANA they were using there. So this is what you see here. So there is a SAP ERP, any DB it is supporting. Now this is we call side scenario. This scenario was there like before 2015. Whoever they went to the HANA migration, that time we were having only DB only. Okay, DB migration we used to call. Whoever they went, they have used this scenario, side by side scenario. Side by side scenario or sidecar scenario people used to call. So that time any DB as it is it will be there, and HANA they used to have as a secondary database. As a secondary database, if you have it, we have discussed this. So in our introduction, we have one core pushdown technique, right? ADBC. In this kind of environment, ADBC people used to have. Okay, clear? So this is what the side by side scenario, and the main scenario. This we can say like after 2015. Why after 2015? 2015 only S4 HANA came into picture. Okay, before that S4 HANA was not there. S4 HANA, what is this? It's a new ERP application, new SAP ERP application. So this ERP application was written based on this NEDB, the designs and everything, the program, standard programs, everything based on that, how this database used to work. That's how the design used to be. Now because of HANA, the database architecture have been changed. With that, the programs also has to be changed, right? To see the most, what are the powerfulness you have to see that in your application environment, your application also has to change. That is what the change has been took place in S4 HANA. S4 HANA is a new ERP application as per SAP HANA. It works on HANA platform only. As a HANA database only, it will work. Not like ERP. It is to support any DB. But S4 HANA will not support any DB. It will support only HANA database only. Okay. So this is what the scenario. Okay. The current scenario for SAP. But even like lot of new applications are designing now by using SAP HANA. This is what general SAP environment we are talking about, existing environment. Apart from this, like lot of many companies they were using their own for their own problems solutions. They are writing applications in HANA platform. Okay, and now with S4 HANA you can have both OLTP and OLAP, both you can have it. Okay, so that is what about So now I'm going to show you the system, and then we are going to have Q&A. Okay, so this is a remote desktop basically for practicing purpose. We are going to use the same system, and this is what the HANA Studio. So this is the platform where we are going to have your all developments. Yes, so this HANA Studio is a Eclipse product. It's an open source. You can download, in your laptop also. Okay, but thing is that you should have an SAP system. Okay, then only you can, on top of that SAP system, you can have your own developments. So it is, as I said, this is a open source, and it is IDE as well, integrated development environment. That means that multiple environment development can happen here. Okay, multiple environment. Like if you have any Java developments, you can have it here. And if you want to have any kind of modeling environment, for analytical purpose, like BW people, they used to have that development can have it here. Okay, so our ABAP development can have it here. Like that, different platform it supports. So if you see this, what are the different platform it supports? If you go to Windows menu here, go to Perspectives, open Perspectives, and others. So these are the different here in HANA Studio we call it a Perspectives for various kinds of platforms to have a development. This is the ABAP development, okay, and this is for BW modeling, okay. And like that Java browsing, Java EE, all those things are JavaScript. Okay. And then this is HANA development. These are all for modeling, like for BW people. Okay. So like that, this environment is supporting. So go to our ABAP environment. Yes, here it is. It will ask like user ID passcode. Okay. So whenever you are having so whenever you are having, in HANA Studio to have a development, first and foremost thing, you need to have a project here. Okay. So this is the project. To create a project also, there is navigation is available. So I'm going to take in next class how to create a project and all those things. Now I'm going to show you like simply how I can write a programs here. If you go and see the project, what it is there, the three folders will be there. Local objects means nothing but all $temp objects will be residing here. Okay, all $temp. You guys know, right? What is all $temp means? $temp, local objects, the objects which will not be export to next level systems, quality system or production systems. So this is how the object segregations will be there in HANA Studio. Okay. Like all programs related, coding related will be there in source code library. Okay, and all transactions will be there here. All web info components, all will be here, and all enhancements will be here. All dictionary SE11 related things, all will be here. Like that, different things like all baddies development will be here. Under tempo, whatever you have done, those will be available. Like that, here in system library we have. See, system library is nothing but it is the like development objects, development packages. You guys know, right? Like if you want to have a the transportable objects, you will select a development package, right? Those are all development packages. These are the standard packages. The same way you have your own G packages as well. See, these are all G packages. Okay. So here you can have it. Again, if you go here, so in this dictionary something. In this we have views something. These are all different. This normal views, database views. Okay. So now we are going to, I'm just going to select one. Let's assume this package. Okay, I'm going to create one program here. To create a program, you just observe what are the navigation we should follow. And one more thing here, we'll not be having any key code concept here. Everything is going to be navigations. Maybe initially it will be difficult, but as a new practice, it will be easy. Okay, we'll go here, select, and they will go the source code library and ABAP program. This is the program. Then click on next. Here you will provide the program name. Example. Okay, and description. Description is nothing but in old environment title. Okay. And then click on next. So it is taking time. Generally, it will not take. Okay, I think some issue with this. I mean, the dollar temp will go. So the package may be having some issue or what. And the dollar temp will be creating the same thing. Like go to directly source code, right click, new program. Okay. The sample, same program name, you just give it. Next and finish. Yes, here you go. So this is our SC38 ABAP editor in HANA Studio. Okay. So generally, the main thing here, the changes have been, if you ask me in new environment, what are the changes? Major changes happened is two changes. What are that? One is inline declaration, and another one is code pushdown techniques. So these two things only. If you know these two things, you are a new ABAPer. Okay. So now we are going to talk about inline declaration. So inline declaration is nothing but these days, like in declaration, how you used to do. The first you will be having a declaration, and then in the program we'll be having separate part for declaration. You used to have separate include program where you will be having all declaration, all those things. So that scenario gone now. Okay, mostly 95% of scenarios, 95% of declarations, 95% of declarations, you can have it by using inline declaration. Inline declaration is nothing but wherever you want a variable, there you will be defining it. Okay, how it will be defined? This is how. Suppose I'm going to write a addition of two numbers program. For that, how declaration I'm going to have by using inline declaration, you are going to see now. So data, I need one variable, two variables. Three variables I need, right? To have a addition of two numbers program that I'm going to define how it is. Just observe here. So data within braces variable name value 1 then equal to 100 and then another variable data and then GB value 2 and then 200. So this is how you have defined the value and you have assigned it. Okay, the same thing will be applicable for internal tables also. Internal table also can define like this only, simple with this data statement. The big internal tables also can be defined. Now no more types, all those things. Type declaration and then data, ITI tab, type standard table of all those things gone now. Okay, but very specific scenarios we are going to use that, but majority of the scenarios that scenario gone. Now another variable to store the value, right? Data GB sum, okay, equal to GB value 1 plus GB value 2. That's it. Now you just type it by using write statement. Okay. Then okay. So this is about the inline declaration. Once you save, once you have written the program, you need to save the program and do the system, syntactical check, and then activate and then run. Right now, clearly observe in HANA Studio where are those options. You have many options, but different purposes. But you just required option you just observe here. This is the save button. You will be saving, and then this is the check. Syntactical check, no errors. This is the activate, will be activating, and to run here we have run as application, ABAP application. You will be running, you will be getting the, and n number of sessions you can open here. In SAP GUI we have limitations, right? Maximum you can have there 6 sessions or 7 sessions. But here n number of sessions you can open, and automatically auto save the code also will be having auto save option will be there here. Like many options you have in HANA Studio compared to the SAP GUI side. Okay, so this is about the session which I planned for today. I think with this I'm done. Now for you guys now. So if you have any question and answers, I'm happy to answer them. I think I have unmuted everyone. You can unmute and, if you have any questions, you can. I think Ranjita only will be having audio issue. Ranjita, you can type and I know you can ask me.
Hi Raju, Navya here.
Yeah, Navya.
Hi,
Please.
I just wanted to know what are the prerequisites to start up with this course? You said it's a 30-hour course, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what would be the prerequisites so that we can scale up, Raju?
See, prerequisites, as I said, you should be an adapter. Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay, that's enough. I mean, nothing else. And
Okay.
so, I mean, you'll be given this SAP HANA environment. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there you can practice whatever we discuss part of this. As I said, see, you need not to worry. The only change happened, only these two changes only. Major is code wisdom techniques. Okay,
Yeah.
rest of the
Uh, I have
thing,
been I've been working on inline declarations and also I'm familiar with it. So I was a little worried about this code push down techniques. That's it. And
yes,
yeah.
that is a major, enhancements in terms of the new ABAP side. Okay,
Okay.
so I mean, if you know that, I mean, this where is that? These are the three things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you know these three things, you are good.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Any other questions, Navya?
Any timeline? When are you going to start the course? Will it be a weekday course or weekend course? So will you communicate that later or something?
No, see, I want to know. I mean, see, even last week also we had a demo actually, and there I have a
Mm-hmm.
couple of questions. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so the couple of registrations were there, and the options what they were looking for, like I mean, if you were looking for the morning India time, I'm talking about morning
Mm-hmm.
9 to 10 every day, 1 hour or 1.5 hour will be there based on the topic. Morning 9 to 10 will be there AM, okay, or evening 6 to 7 p.m. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. These two slots right now I'm available. These two slots we can have the sessions, and it's going to be a everyday session. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now I don't have any weekends requirement. Okay. I mean, suppose if you guys are looking for, then we can plan something. Right now, these two are available. From Monday onwards, I'm going to start this session next Monday.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what the plan. Yeah, I think somebody. Are you going to take online session or classroom session? Yes. So we have a classroom session also. The same session is going to have classroom. It's Bangalore. We have office. I don't know whether you guys are aware this outer ring road, Kasturi Nagar service road. Kasturi Nagar after Tin Factory towards Hebbal route. That is the first stop it will come. So we have an office here. So here the same session is going to have classroom. Ramya, if you are nearby, you can plan it. If you are keen about classroom, of course we have classroom session as well. And Ranjita Oram. So can you please tell me, Mr. Raju, what is multi-core CPU? So multi-core CPU is nothing but it has a multi-cores. Okay, as I said, it is the core is also a CPU only. Whatever CPU does, the core also will be doing the same. What happens if it comes any activity to CPU, any activity in the sense like any kind of executions, any kind of calculations or something, or any kind of extractions. So just it will be split into multiple activities, that activity, small activity, and that small activities will be assigned to multi-cores. So multi-cores will be parallelly working on that small activities, and with that, the activity will be performed in a shorter time comparatively when you have a single core CPU. So that is what the HANA. It has many cores. Right now, if you see 120 cores, hardware it is there. I think Ranjita, are you good? You just call me personally also offline. We can discuss. Okay, in detail. I can try to explain this if you are not clear still. And one more question is, what about OData and Fury? We will cover those in our course. Yes, good question. So Fury, we are not going to cover this part of course. The Fury is again, it's a UI5 design. That's a different course altogether. But the OData up to like when you are writing a CDS views, we have a concept there how to expose that CDS view to OData by using OData to gateway. So that we are going to discuss, but not Fury.
Sorry to interrupt, Raju. You mean to say how to create a OData service to push the data? You mean to explain that as well in the code? We
Yes.
create a service using we get the data from CDS view and then push it to the UI. So you mean to say that?
See, once you create a CDS views, that CDS
Right.
view how can expose to gateway. Okay,
Gateway. Right. Right.
By using OData services that we are going to
Hmm.
discuss. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
not end-to-end scenario. Once you expose it, how Fury is going to use that services, consume those services. That we are not going to discuss because that is a different course altogether. It's a
Okay.
Fury. Yeah. But as an adapter, this is how in the current projects also, like backend Fury applications, who are the Fury consultants, they will be separately will be there. They will be designing front end applications, and the other people like adapters, they will be doing back end encoding.
Okay.
Ramya, are you clear? Any other questions? Ranjita, I need your contact number. It would be good, like if you can ping me, since you could not able to talk. What is the duration of course if we take weekend session, and what will be the course fee? Okay. So course fee we can discuss. You can call me. Uh, we can discuss on that. And session will be weekend if you want. So same like for weekend people also like we can have their 2 hour session. Okay. Generally that is how weekend sessions will happen. Okay. So 2 hours like like you can count the 30 hours when it is going to complete. Accordingly it will be. Ranjita, can I have your number? Please type in chat itself. Any other Shankar and Navya, any more questions? Ramya?
Nothing from my side, Raju.
Okay, so you right now you are in France. Navya, are you good for with these timings?
I would prefer morning session, Raju. If it is a 6 o'clock in India time, so it'll be midday in France. So and also the daylight savings is going to start this month, and so we'll have it now. It is 3.5 hours difference. Later it would be 4.5 hours. So if it's morning, it would be good if possible.
Early morning, you're talking 6 a.m.
Yeah, 9 o'clock your time means I can cope with it, so it's not a problem for me. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock your time.
But evening will be difficult, right?
Yeah, evening means it will be midday in France, like 2:30 in France.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks Anjita for your number. So if no more questions, I think we are good. The fees, I mean, we can discuss. Like, when you just call me if you're really interested. Okay, you just give a call. I think my number is available, right? If it is not available, I think that the mail communication is whatever the mails we have sent. That number is also there. To that number also you can call, or else you can call me this number. This number. You can call me this number as well. We can discuss the fees and your post timings and all those things we can discuss, and accordingly we can start from next week onwards. Shankar, are you good?
Hi Raju. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So I think we are good. If none of them are having questions, we are good to close the
Raju, can I have
session.
your contact number?
I think, can you able to see my screen? You have my emails, right? I mean, we have sent, from ABAP factory, we have sent a mail, right? There also we have
Right.
another number. Yeah, that is my office number. You can call, and this is my personal number. So you can call. Both numbers are, I'm available. Okay, guys. So thank you for attending session, and have a good night and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Raj. Bye.
Thank you.